Hey everybody, Joe here. Got a couple projects lined up for today. First of all, this seating area here, I have purchased some new chairs from Lowe's. These chairs here, the backs of them get a lot of sun, and you can see they're kind of deteriorating here. So they need to be replaced. What's super aggravating is the two chairs just like these across the way are fine. So I just had to make a decision. Did I want to go ahead and replace all four or replace two of them? So I did the smart thing. I'm going to go ahead and replace all four. The two chairs that are in good shape, I'll probably donate to Goodwill. It just made sense to do that. So I'll show you the new chairs that I got from Lowe's. I think they're pretty cool. And then we are going to go back to one of the large desert roses that I didn't get to yesterday. I did a video yesterday. I brought out about 16 desert roses to get them ready for spring. There's one that is rather large, and I didn't get to remove the leaves from it yesterday, so we'll pick up there and do that. And then along this pony wall, the raised pony wall, you'll see in a few minutes, that's where I like to put a lot of the desert roses from the greenhouse. And right now there's a lot of leaf debris and some pots that need attention. So I'm going to spend some time, first of all, using the yard vac to kind of clean that up, and then kind of go through and identify and move around pots and just do some general cleanup before I can relocate the pots from the greenhouse to the yard. And then the other day I did a video over at Costco, and at the end of the video I found these really cool glass blown pieces for the yard. I thought that we would unbox those and take a look at those at the end of the video today. So that's what we have lined up, and it'll be a busy day, but much needed projects that need to get done for spring cleanup here. So first of all, let me show you these chairs, and then I'll show you the chairs that we're going to unbox and get ready for replacement. So these are kind of a wicker material. Maybe look-alike wicker. It's more probably like a hard plastic, but nonetheless wicker look like. And both chairs, the back is just splitting and it's just unsightly. And these chairs are probably 8 or 9 years old, and it's just time to replace them. I think the aggravating part is the chairs on this side are still in pretty good shape, but it just makes sense to go ahead and replace them all at once. The chairs on the end are still in good shape, and I think they're going to closely match, or they'll look similar to what I've been able to get over here at Lowe's, and I'll show you those next. So here's the chairs. These are style selections. Here's the information on the back. These are bistro chairs. They were $49 a piece, and I really like the looks of them. I picked up 2 blue and 2 green. This is a wicker style material, and the existing cushions I have I think will match these nicely. So I'm pretty sure these are going to look nice around the table. Once I get them placed, I'll come back and kind of show you what they look like, but I think they're going to make a nice replacement addition. All right, so I have all the packaging off the chairs. I think the chairs look great. I think it's okay with the blue on the right and the green on the left. And I think it looks nice in this area. Let me know what you think in the comments. One lesson learned is these chairs are very different than the other ones. The other ones did not have arms, and they were a little bit more narrow. And as a result, both of these chairs will not slide completely under the table because of the way that the legs are. So they're always going to have to sit out kind of like this, which I think is okay. It's maybe more inviting. I don't know. It does take up more room, so we have to, first of all, I have to get in here and clean all these pots up. I have not touched them since the fall, so there's a lot of dead debris and some replanting I need to do, but I need to reposition these just to give more room to walk around. So hopefully this weekend I'll be able to get to that. I have a lot of projects all kind of bunching into each other, so I just got to keep pushing and keep going to get this stuff done. But the table and chairs is done. I think it looks nice. I was able to reuse these cushions from the last chairs. So all in, I'm pretty happy. A little disappointed that I can't completely tuck them under the table, but I will make do. So now I'm going to head over to the desert rose that I didn't get to finish yesterday. All right, so this is the desert rose that I wasn't able to get to yesterday. If you saw the video, I pulled 16 desert roses out of the garage, and I'm getting them ready for spring. And one of the things that I do is these leaves left over from last year, I'm going to go ahead and remove. The reason is they haven't seen sun, and as soon as the sun hits these leaves, they're just going to start looking kind of ratty. Some of them will die, some of them will hang on. The plant will try to replenish the old leaves. So the best thing in my opinion to do is just go ahead and remove any of these green leaves, and then that will allow the plant to focus on new leaf growth in the spring. So I am wearing gloves. I typically wear gloves when I do stuff like this, but desert roses are toxic. That's covered in my video yesterday as well. So, make sure that you have gloves on and that you're not consuming toxic juices. So I'm just gonna go through and remove all these leaves. All right, I have all the leaves off, so now I can focus on new growth and will look fresh and clean for the summer, hopefully with lots of blooms. This is a plant that was gifted to me, and it had been left outside, so you can see there's some areas here that are a little rough, but it definitely healed and is growing back. Also, the structure on these branches are a little unique. You can see how they have these twists and turns. Kind of looks like Medusa's hair. But at any rate, that's the damage that existed before this plant had to be cut back, before it was gifted to me. And those scars have healed over nicely, so there shouldn't be any danger of any type of rot. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these leaves cleared out of here. And then we'll move into the back and start cleaning up on that pony wall area for the other desert roses to ultimately be placed. All right, so this one is all cleaned up. I have all the old leaves cleaned up out of here. And I was thinking as I was cleaning this up, this is a lot of open real estate from a planting perspective. One, I will probably cover this area with some decorative rocks, but I was thinking that maybe I could also plant some different varieties of small cactus in here. Just because there is so much open real estate, or I could do some small baby desert roses. So I'm pretty excited about that potential. First of all, I need to figure out what kind of rocks I'll put in here. They'll probably be on the small to medium size, and then figure out how I can intertwine either cactus or desert roses in here, but might as well use the space since it's available. And hopefully this desert rose will live a happy long life in this big table that we built that's on wheels. So enough of this. Now I'm going to head back into the backyard and we'll start cleaning up the areas where the other desert roses will ultimately be placed. As I head into the backyard, you'll see some of my flowers are looking really good. I still have a lot that needs to be planted. Every time I go to Lowe's and Home Depot, I end up coming home with more and more things. The fans are on in the greenhouses because they're exceptionally hot, so I need to get those desert roses out of here. But I still have a lot of cleanup, and right now there are desert roses just kind of hanging out everywhere because I can't place them until I get their kind of designated areas cleaned up. So that's the next project coming up here. I plan to get a lot done this weekend. I've taken Friday and Monday off so I can try to put a dent in this yard because there's just a lot that needs attention. Now up here, this is the pony wall, and this is kind of a raised area, and I like to have this really filled in with a lot of desert roses, but you can see there's a lot of debris. I also still need to do some cleanup on some of the plants that are back here. So we'll get that done today. Clearly some weeds, but all this area in here is where desert roses kind of hang out for the summer. But I need to get this cleaned up. So that's what I'm going to start working on here next. So a couple weeks ago, I trimmed back these cannas and I left some of the dead leaves just for some additional protection. Also, they were wet and they weren't really easy to trim. So I'm going to go ahead and get these trimmed up in both these pots here. I'm going to add some fresh soil and some cow manure and some fertilizer just to give them a boost. Might as well do this now while the desert roses are not up on this ledge, because once they get positioned up here, it'll be hard to get back to these. So we're gonna get it done today. All right, I got these cleaned out. I'm gonna go ahead and add some dirt and some fertilizer now. I noticed one of my bird houses up here has lost its roof. It's one of those that had a camera in it, and it just never really worked out very well. And now that it's lost its roof, I'm going to go ahead and take this down before a bird decides to nest in it. And then I do have a hibiscus tree right here. I am going to just trim it up a little bit, and I have another flowering shrub back here that I'm going to trim up as well. I'm not exactly sure what this is. It gets purple flowers on it. I'll try to look it up, but you can see it's kind of leaning a little bit. I want to fix that. I want to trim up the branches. It used to be in the shape of kind of a ball, so I'm going to get it back to its original shape, and then just get some general cleanup in here. I was walking by with the wagon and rubbed up against this plant and broke off 2 of its branches. They break off so easily, and I really like this plant. So it is in a plastic pot. At some point this weekend, I'll look for a different pot to put it in, a ceramic pot of sorts. And then I'm gonna have to place this somewhere else in the yard where its branches don't stick out like this, because they're just so delicate and they break off so easy that it just destroys the look of the plant. So as it gets bigger, you know, that won't be noticeable, but that's not something that's gonna grow back, and you can see it's happened before. So it's time to give this one some love, a new pot and a new location, so that my clumsy legs and wagon don't hit it. Boy, I love this pony wall area, and I love putting plants up here for display, but I do not make my life easy trying to get back here. There are lots of pokey cactus, a bottle tree. I mean, I guess I could take down all this stuff and then do it, but that would take time. So I'm just adding in some cow manure. I already added in some additional dirt. So I mix that in, and then I'm using my Miracle Grow shake and feed. Just giving it some additional feed here. About 2 handfuls, not very scientific. And then just kind of mix it in with my hand. And these should be good to go for a couple weeks anyway. Now, these cannas have been in these plastic pots for some time, and they're just packed. So on the list of things to do is to take these pots down, remove these out, divide them, and then buy another pot. And eventually along this wall, I'll just have it lined up with cannas. But that's not something I need to worry about today, and probably not this weekend. So it's on the long list of things to do. Now I need to get between this cactus and this vase to get to that pot. This is a pain. All right, so lots of bending and maneuvering, but I've got my pots replenished with soil. I've thrown in some cow manure. I've thrown in my all-purpose shake and feed. I think that's good enough for now. Let me show you what the finished Canna pots look like. So here's the finished Canna pots. Nicely cleaned up, fair amount of dirt and fertilizer. So these are good to go. Now I'm going to trim up this hibiscus and a couple of these bushes before I start vacuuming up this mess back here. All right, I went ahead and moved the bougainvillea that was sitting over here to back there, and then the nameless plant that I trimmed back into like a ball shape. I put a little bit further back. This area here was looking really congested. So I also took out the hibiscus tree and trimmed it up. Now I need to do what my original intent was all along, is to vacuum up this mess. Now I think it looks too plain. Now, again, a lot of desert roses are gonna go back in here, but I need to figure out how to reincorporate this hibiscus tree somewhere in this space, just to kind of cover up that wall a little bit and to just fill in some of the blank spots. If you haven't noticed yet, I don't like a lot of blank spots. This is all rocks back here, so it's not like I can plant things in the ground. That's why I do a lot of container gardening. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and start getting this vacuumed up with my shop vac. I do have a really long hose with my shop vac, so the shop vac will sit down behind us here, and this hose is, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 feet long. I just bought a bunch of extensions and put them together. Allows me to kind of maneuver back through here without having to drag this big old shop vac around with me. And if you haven't watched my videos in the past, I've discovered that I can kind of vacuum with this extension, and there's minimal risk of me sucking up the rocks, yet I can get all this debris up fairly easily. So we'll get started on that. So you can see this did a really nice job of getting all the leaves and the debris out without sucking up rocks. I may have sucked up a couple, but very minimal and well worth the effort. If I had just used a rake, I would have still left a lot of little debris behind. So I just find using the shop vac does a really wonderful job. Now, of course, those cannas will grow up and they'll be tall and look really lush. There'll be desert roses back here. So this is very unfinished. I'll show you as this progresses, but it looks a little plain Jane right now, but it's going to get there. This geranium here is a little lanky. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim it back. It should come back, but while it looks halfway decent, there's a lot of dead within here, and these stems are kind of long, so I think it'll do it good to trim it back, add some dirt and some fertilizer to give it a fresh start. I'm just literally gonna snip these off. All right, so I just went ahead and trimmed off all the greenery Again, it should cause this to really bud out. I'm going to add some dirt and some fertilizer to give it a fresh start for the spring. Well, I've got this area at least vacuumed up. All that debris is gone. Kind of played around with repositioning these pots. I'll probably move them 100 more times by all is said and done. But at least I have room for the desert roses. They're going to be coming out the next couple days. So one section done, a lot more to go. So I have a decision to make. The plant on either side of me is a form of cholla, and they're really aggressive. And I'm gonna guess most people don't have potted chollas in their cactus gardens. I do have some planted up front in the ground, and I'm okay with those, but these just have not been my friend lately. I just spent about 5 minutes digging these things out of my leg. So I think I'm gonna have the upper hand, and I'm gonna get rid of these. I'll of course reuse the pots, but these are not bringing enjoyment to my life, and I can fix that pretty easily. So I'm gonna get rid of these, reuse the pots for something that's more pretty, maybe some flowers or something, but these have to go. All right, those cholla are gone, and I'm not gonna miss them. I gotta tell you, these pots were heavy. These are those imported clay pots that I talked about in a previous video. Much heavier than just a plain old terracotta pot. They're nice. They do after time just start to disintegrate. Again, I covered that in a previous video. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse these pots, but boy, with the pot and the dirt and the cholla, it did not want to say goodbye, but I did get them properly disposed of, and I'm glad that I'm not going to be attacked, at least by these two characters, any longer. So I've done a lot of cleanup. I'm going to go ahead and stop the cleanup for the day, but I did want to show you what I picked up at Costco the other day, some glass blown yard art. So I'm going to head over to the front where those are. I have not unboxed them yet. So I'll unbox them and we'll kind of take a look at them together. This is the first time that I'll have seen them in person. So I'm really excited because they looked really cool. So I bought these the other night at Costco, and I thought they were really cool. They had a set of them on display, and I just thought that they were really nice. So these are glass garden stakes. There's 3 of them. I'll have to look up what the price is. I'll mention it in the video. I think it was maybe $40, so pretty reasonable. And I think they're just beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox them. Yeah, so this is the look at that. This is the yellow, blue, green. This is the red. And this is different shades of blue and white. And they come with these garden stakes that just screw in. And you could put these in a flower pot. You could stick these in the ground. I actually bought 2 sets. I'll put them in different areas in the yard. There's a couple of pots the other day that I talked about doing something to give them some additional height and interest. And these might be perfect for that. So really easy to put together. These just screw on again. And it says that these are hand blown. And I think that they're just beautiful. These are true glass blown. Again, goes together really easy. And when the light reflects on these, just beautiful. So these were at Costco. I really suggest that you get there quickly if you're interested in these and pick these up. I think you can probably order them online and have them shipped as well. I don't know that to be a fact, but typically whatever they have in the warehouse, they allow for shipping as well. So I would definitely check them out. I think they add a lot of visual appeal and interest, and definitely a talking point for the yard. So project by project, this will slowly start to come together. My petunias, these are actually from last year, are looking amazing. There's just a lot of, everything back here is just discombobulated. As you start cleaning up and you start bringing things out that are typically inside, I've got wagons hanging around and wheelbarrows hanging around and stuff that shouldn't be out, and it's just very messy right now. I would be embarrassed if anyone came to visit and kind of embarrassed showing you, but it does eventually come together. I'm glad that I got this area cleaned up. I still need to mess with the pots. Again, those plastic pots with the cannas, I need to do something with. They're about ready to bust out and the pots don't look very appealing anymore. I've got these desert roses sitting out everywhere. I did get this area pretty cleaned up. Got rid of those horrible choyas that were just attacking me. Still have a large section here to get cleaned up, but it's gonna come together. There are days like today where I question the insanity, but it will eventually be worth it. I think this set here turned out really, really well as well. Whew, it's nice just to sit and breathe for a second. But I am going to call it a day. I sure do appreciate all the comments I've been getting, and if you're watching this for the first time and you haven't subscribed, certainly invite you to do so. It really helps out my small growing channel. Feel free to look back at previous videos. I think I've got, I don't know, 15 or 20 up so far, so a long way to go, and there's a lot to do in this yard, and it really comes along. And when everything's in full bloom, it looks pretty incredible, and I can't wait to share that with you. But for now, at least from a video perspective, I'm going to call it quits and hope that you guys have a good evening. I'm sure this will be a busy weekend, so I'll be uploading more videos. On Friday, I plan to go to a completely different Lowe's and see what they have. Saturday morning, the same thing. I've been loading those up, and there's been a lot of interest in those videos and a lot of good feedback and comments, so I'll continue that as well. But for now, we're gonna check out. Thanks, everybody.